You're listening to the Angry Marks Podcast Network.
Representing Blue Collar Wrestling, NWA Blue Collar Wrestling, we have one half of the Moonshiners, JB Moonshine. JB, how are you this evening?
I'm doing good.
Good. Well, I'm the Bearded Wonder, Zane Paisley. You've probably heard of me. We've also got on the line the NWA Continental Champion, the Morning Star, Will Huckabee.
What's going on, man?
And we also have representing the Elite, Tone C. Now, I know that Tone C's doesn't have very much time left on the show, so I wanted to get his questions for you first.
Hey, JB, how you doing, man?
Doing good.
Me and you, we have a mutual friend that I'll tell you about here in a second, but our mutual friend wanted me to give you a message. I talked to him a little bit ago on the phone, and he told me to tell you that when you are ready to get your ass kicked, the world powers will be happy to oblige.
I bet. That would either be Debashi or Chief.
It came from Debashi, but I'm friends with both him and Chief, yeah.
I could either be one of them.
He told me to tell you that he misses you, and he hopes to see you soon.
The feelings are mutual, same thing. Great guy.
Yes, he is. He's an awesome guy. I'm surprised. You haven't done his podcast, have you?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, I've been in his ear about putting me on too. So, but I guess my question for you is, my first question is how long have you been working?
I've been working about almost 12 years.
Oh, okay, awesome. Just a quick backstory, like who trained you and how'd you break in?
I kind of broke in doing the whole bar thing. My very first type of appearance would have been just doing like the TUWS. Kind of like being, kind of stupid. We're doing all the wrestling on the stage, but I more got into it with Dr. Payne's clinic or whatever. I don't know if anybody ever knows who that is or knows what they were. But I've been trained off and on by a bunch of people. I mean, I've been trained by Big Utley. Recently, it's been like I got trained by Josh Barr recently. Went some overall with Josh Barr and Big Utley, Jason Sullivan. I mean, I did a little bit with DOA. I mean, I kind of got like a little bit of training from every, got a little bit from Scott Ferris.
Okay.
So, I mean, I got kind of like tossed back and forth around.
Okay. All right. Well, I wanted to stay on long enough to get Debashi's message to you when I heard you were going to be on, because I knew he was from that area just like you are.
Yeah.
So not to screw up the interview, but I'm cutting out for the evening, Zane. Will, it's all on you. Take it home and have a good night, guys.
Well, thanks so much for joining us tonight, Tone C. We really appreciate it.
No problem. BookTheElite@gmail.com.
Okay.
See ya.
Hey, JB, why don't you tell us a little about the NWA Blue Collar Wrestling?
Well, I've been with them. I've been wrestling them almost from the beginning. I mean, they've been around for around for like at least 6-7 years now, and we pretty much just like a family. I mean, we always the same type of staying and the same people. I mean, it's a good environment. I mean, I don't know what other.
When did it become an NWA affiliate?
NWA, I think it had to have been either at the beginning of this year or towards the end of last year. I mean, we haven't been affiliated with them for long.
Uh-huh.
But, they made the announcement around February, I think. Okay, I think the beginning of the year, close to that. So we haven't been affiliated very long.
Now, have you had an opportunity to meet Bruce Tharp yet?
No, I have not.
Okay, all right. Hey, have you noticed any change in blue collar since you joined the NWA? Has there been any more press for you, or any pickup in the crowd or anything?
It's been a pick up right now. It's been like off and on because, heat or the holiday or whatever, but it's been pretty much, steady. And, with the change with the NWA and stuff, I mean, the referees shaped up or looking more professional, or the rules are a little different, but I mean, it's all good and all the same. I mean, we're just,
Wait, you just said that the referees are more professional. I think I'm going to have to
like the look. I mean, we got that new referee shirts, and that's what I'm saying. They're looking more.
Well, because I personally know one of your referees, and I don't know. I don't know how much professional he is. I'm talking about Sign Guy.
I was just that he was talking about.
I don't know how you can stand working with that prick Sign Guy.
It's different. I mean, he screwed up a few of my matches before, so I mean, just last week he screwed up one of my matches, and my paw had to smack him in the face.
He asked me to ask you that, so we all know that he's a good guy, and I don't know if he's well respected in the community, but some people seem to like him all right. So.
Some people do. I'm a little bit on the shaky side with him because, like I said, he screws up my matches, and he needs to get on the right page with the Moonshiners.
Well, okay. Speaking of the Moonshiners, you're one half of the Moonshiners, and tell us about your partner, LB.
LB, he's well, it started out as being a little bit of a rivalry and this and that because I didn't realize that he was my half brother from New York City. So I mean, we've just finally, got in touch, and I mean, we figured this out now. But until it's been 34 years, and yeah, now I find out that I have a brother. So, but it's been working out. I mean, things are going fine now, but it was a little rocky at the beginning.
Well, and tell us about your manager, Paul.
Well, as far as I thought, he was my pa, my only pa, but yeah, he's my biological father. He's manages me, does everything, gets everything ready. I mean, he comes out there and brings it like an old man will.
Does he have that old man strength too?
Oh yeah, he's catching a legend from a couple people like Lone Star and Tony Stetson said he's been hit and abused, and he gets right back up. He's still there. I mean, he'll take a whooping and keep on kicking.
Well, now, as you said, he's your biological father, and he's your real father. How did he come about managing you in professional wrestling?
Basically, he started out. He's been a truck driver. I mean, most of my time, I see him maybe if I was lucky once or twice a year because he was a truck driver. Well, he ended up can't driving truck no more, and then he kind of like started dressing up and being like my number one fan in the stands. I mean, he was there. He dressed up in a costume, the pod, the whole hat, I mean, he'd go there in gym and sit front row. And root for me and cheer for me. And one day, the promoter just asked me to bring him in the back, and he's been my manager ever since.
That's awesome. Well, I'm going to kick it over to the Continental Champion from NWA Rage, the Morning Star, Will Huckabee. Will, what do you got for JB Moonshine?
Well, JB, first of all, I want to say once again, thanks for the podcast, man. We really do appreciate it.
I appreciate you guys having me on here. I mean, it's great.
No problem. Now, I want to talk about, you as a person, you as a wrestler. You have a very distinct look. Who were some of when I watch your matches and stuff, of course, your look reminds me of Hillbilly Jim and the Moondogs and everything. Who were some of your early inspirations when it came to wrestling? And who you try to, I'm going to say copy, but who do you try to pattern yourself after, if we can use that phrase?
When I first got into wrestling, I was doing a different character as like this leprechaun character, and I did it for a while. It was fine, but I finally got this I changed it into a hillbilly thing because my whole childhood, I mean, watching Superstar Wrestling or, you know, the Hulk Hogan stuff and everything, and Hillbilly Jim is like something I've always watched. Him, the Godwins, they were like a big inspiration of me coming up with the Moonshiners. It was just, you know, I mean, I feed off of them. I mean, it was just, I mean, I even, my finisher, I even call it the slop drop after the Godwin.
Speaking of that, the bottle of Moonshine, what's really in that bottle?
What's really in that bottle? It's like a brew. It's what gives me my strength. I mean, when I start getting my butt beat and really get whooped and whatever, and Pa hands me that thing, it's like a mojo. I don't know. I drink it and I just get pumped. I mean, I'm ready to fight. It's like something special that it's in there.
Now, you said you've been in, you've been wrestling, you've been in this business for 12 years, you know what I'm saying? In my book, that puts you right there, borderline vet status and stuff. How, in your opinion, how has the business changed over there on the West Coast? How is it now to how it was when you first broke in?
Repeat that last part I didn't hear.
Oh, I'm saying, how is the business different now than when it was 12 years ago when you first broke in?
When I first broke in, it's been a while since I first broke in. When I first broke in, it was more like John Owens days, because a lot of times it was more of, you know, you kept your mouth shut, your ears open, you respected your peers, you respected the place that you were at, you know, you didn't have this ego, you didn't have nothing. It's like, nowadays, it's like you train for 6 months, you get your first chance in the ring, and next thing you know, they become superstars, and they don't have to, you know, they know everything more than a vet does, or more. It doesn't matter how many years you have, they know everything. And back then, it was just like, you know, you respected your shit.
Oh yeah, now speaking about that, you know, you're in the infamous, you know, Portland wrestling, Don Owens and stuff, and now, you know, from what. Tell me if I'm wrong, but Roddy Piper has a promotion up there also. Am I correct?
He did that Portland wrestling and stuff like that, and he trained some of his guys over at the BCW facility. So yeah.
Okay, but have you had any experience with Roddy Piper? Have you met him, worked with him and stuff? And how was that?
I've met him. I met his kid and everything, but I haven't really got a chance to really work with them or work with him. He was always busy. So I never got that experience, but I have got a chance to shake hands and talk to him and, you know, meet him. But I even got a chance to talk to like Mike Miller when he was around over there and helping us out, and the Pope brothers, and, you know, they were there, and everybody was just.
I was say, is wrestling really big over there in Portland? Like I live in Carolina, which is, you know, the mecca of professional wrestling. It's a hotbed, especially for Jim Crockett Promotions in the NWA. So how big of a draw is wrestling there in Portland and stuff in that area?
Here in Portland, it's still good. It's still okay, but it doesn't really compare to it used to be like when I was a kid, and Portland, or the Portland Pavilion, and they actually had actual wrestling, and I mean everybody was there, and you know, I mean it wasn't. It's not like that anymore. Because now anybody thinks that they can wrestle. So. But it's still big. I mean, people still, you know, I mean, WWE comes around, they're there. I mean, BCW every week, every Sunday night at 6, and everybody's still there. I mean, it's still a good show. Everybody has a good time. It's still fun. It's just, you know, not as big as it should be anymore.
Well, Zane, I'm going to pass it back to you. What do you have for JB?
Well, JB, once again, thank you for coming on. I want to remind our fans to please check out T-shirtworldorder.com, and check out the Undisputed Wrestling Show T-shirt. If you put in the promo code Moonshine, then you get $5 off your order. So put in that promo code Moonshine to receive $5 off your order at T-shirtworldorder.com. So yeah, did you grow up in the Pacific Northwest?
Yeah, I spent most of my time, my life, my career, everywhere. Pacific Northwest, it's been my home.
Who were some of your favorite guys to work with over the last couple of years?
I've had a few people. I've worked with a few people in California. Devil's Mountain, there's a few people there that are good. Epic World, I wrestled a few people there. The Chief Alatula and Debashi, they were, a good couple team. Me and my cousin Jameson or whatever, we wrestled them a good match. I mean, there's been a few of them and stuff like that, but I mean, I guess the best one I'd say I had to wrestle would be, I'd say it'd actually be the hardcore match I had against Cowboys was one of them. I mean, we had a really good hardcore match and everything. And
do you like working the hardcore style?
I do a little bit just because I get tired of hearing people I get tired of, oh, that's fake, or this is fake, or wrestling's fake. I mean, I get tired of just hearing it sometimes. So hardcore I like a little bit because it gets people to realize, well, chair shots aren't fake. It hurts. Take the bump on taps, it hurts. I mean, it's not fake. Tennis sticks, yeah, they hurt. I guess that's most of the reason why I like hardcore matches a lot. It shows people that, hey, we take a beating.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Hey, tell me about your opponent this past weekend. I think it's a great name for a professional wrestler. Default Wrestler number 6.
Yeah. I really didn't know what I was getting into in that match. I mean, he was, I don't know, he had like no face. I really didn't know what I was getting into, and I just basically, it didn't last long. After a while of his shenanigans, I just kind of just hit him with a slop drop, and that was it.
Took him out.
Yeah. Took him out, 1, 2, 3.
I think that it would be fun to be a wrestler named Vacant. And then you can say that you've held the Intercontinental Championship, you've held the TNA Championship. Every time they put those titles because of injury or shenanigans, you can be the champion then.
Yeah.
Hey, so when's you said every Sunday you've got matches there at NWA?
I move around. DCW is my home. That's where I wrestle. I wrestle there every Sunday night, 6 p.m. It's 7811 North Exeter, right off of Portsmouth, Portland, Oregon. I mean, every Sunday, 5:30, doors open, 6 o'clock bell time. They have good food. They have cheap drinks. I mean, it's a family fun, family oriented. I mean, and on top of it, I also go other places. But I wrestled double duty last week. Saturday I wrestled in Spokane for Saw. Went had a good match over there. I've been wrestling there once a month now. The first Saturday of every month in Spokane, 25 North Lincoln. Me and Donovan Etzel as the Hollywood Moonshiners.
The Hollywood Moonshiners.
Yeah, over in Spokane, I teamed up with Hollywood Donovan Etzel. He's nothing but limo riding. I mean, he's like today's Ric Flair. I mean, he's high flying. Got the tuxedo, got the whole, everything. He got his own little entourage, but he has my back. So me and him are going for the tag belts July 12th in Spokane. Next week I'm wrestling in Rosebud in cage match. There's I think all the matches we're having in Rosebud on the 20th is all cage matches. That's all we're having.
Well, so in that type of situation, how do you guys work it out beforehand? Of how is your cage match going to be different than the guy right before you and the match right after you?
That I have no idea. I mean, to me, I wouldn't suggest all cage matches because to me, I think they would all be the same. I mean, you can't really do anything different, and I would think, but I mean, I'm not the promoter. I'm not the booker. I'm just a worker. I go and work.
Yeah, but you've got. When is that show going to be up in Spokane?
The one in Spokane will be July 12th, and that will be me and Hollywood Donovan Edsel in a tag match against the First Family.
When is the all cage match show?
That next week. That's June 20th in Roseburg.
Okay. So you have between now and next Saturday to think about how you're going to make your match way different than all the rest of the matches. You know, I would think as the art form that is professional wrestling, that so many people have done the same things over and over again, and there's a certain formula to it. And I challenge you to make this the best cage match you can make it, and make it something different.
Okay, I will accept that challenge. My thing is, if I make the first match, I got it made because they have to talk what I do.
All right. Well, do you have anything else for Mr. JB Moonshine tonight?
Oh yeah, I got a bunch of questions for JB. JB, we just talked to Tracy Smothers, and I asked him, and I'm going to ask you. With WWE having this whole Tough Enough contest and stuff, and it's all been all over Facebook and everything, how they cut the list down to 40 people and stuff. How do you feel about that? You know, them actually asking guys, a lot of these people aren't even wrestlers. You know, they have nothing to do with wrestling, have never wrestled a day in their life, but they're sitting in videos. How do you feel about that whole, I guess you call it publicity gimmick?
The only thing I feel is that I've watched some of the stuff, and some of the people on there, I see, I mean, some of them are way better in shape than I am ever thought about being, and some of them could probably do a pretty good job, but I just hope that they're not doing this thinking that it's easy, because I'll give anybody professional fights. Wrestling is not easy. It took me forever to figure it out. It is not easy. And people on there, I think they're like, oh, I'll just go in there and I have the body. It's not easy. They're going to work hard. They're going to, I mean, they're not like, just jumping in there and be like, okay, I'm a superstar. No, it's hard work, and I hope they realize that.
I'm guessing you're around close to my age. We'll say you're mid-30s. How's that sound?
What was that? I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
I said, as far as your age goes, we'll say you're the right young age of 31. How's that sound?
I'm a little older than that, but okay.
we'll just go with 31, man. You got to work with the gimmick. We'll just say you're 31. And you, of course, growing up like me and Zane and stuff, you watched the old territory days and stuff. With New Japan and AAA in Mexico, GFW, ROH, WWE, TNA and stuff. In your opinion, do you think that we're seeing a resurgence of the territory days, where guys are popping there working for ROH for a couple of months, then leaving, going to GFW, and then, like I said, AJ Styles of TNA is doing tremendously well in New Japan. Do you think that we're actually seeing the resurgence of the territory days?
I mean, this is like a newer territory, but I don't know. Some of the people now, I think, are kind of like forgotten how wrestling used to be old school. I mean, it used to, it used to be, like back when I was a kid, like I said, then, everything was, I thought everything was cool and this and that, but nowadays it's like some people have to say that seem like they don't have enough ambition to put a lot in wrestling anymore. It's like they don't care that if people know what's going on or this and that, and
how do you feel about, ROH being the lead-in show for TNA on Destination America?
That, I'm sorry. TNA used to have it, but they don't. I actually kind of watch ROH more than TNA just because, a lot of the good wrestlers came from ROH. You look at Daniel Bryan's and, other people and stuff, and they come from ROH, and they seem to be doing better right now. TNA seems to be losing a lot. Now Samoa Joe's in NXT. Everybody's jumping ship.
Oh yeah, I look at it as, the more places there are that's doing business, more places for the boys to actually be working. And the more money, we make as the boys and stuff, the better the business is for everybody. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
The last question, and I'll give it back to Zane and stuff. And of course, because I'm an NWA guy, you'll say I work for the NWA. Now you're an NWA tag team champion. When you got, you won the NWA blue collar tag team champions and stuff. You go home and you look at this title and it has NWA up there and stuff. Did it have any significant value for you? Was the little 14-year-old inside of you jumping up and marking out? How did you feel?
It doesn't matter. I've been doing this for a while, and even to this day, I mean, I'm still got this little bit of mark in me. I mean, there's still just this little bit of me that's still like 8 years old, waiting for my super hill, that Cody or somebody who didn't come out and win and this and that. I mean, no matter what, I have like this little bit of mark in me, every time, and NWA is where it started. I mean, I remember when I was a little kid watching Harley Race versus Ric Flair, and I've gone all over. I've gone to Eugene, Army to watch wrestling. I've gone everywhere I can to watch wrestling. When it was NWA, WWE, I mean, it didn't matter that I was there. It was the same. And NWA, I mean, just to be on the same categories as a lot of the great ones, like, the rock and roll and, Colonel the Beards and, Buddy Rose and, just to be on the same category as them is just an honor.
Well, very nice. JB Moonshine, I know our time is running short. Where can our listeners follow you so that way they can know about what your upcoming events are and how can they get if they want to give you some feedback, where can they do that?
I got Facebook, JB Moonshine. You can always find me on Facebook. My email, jbmoonshine@yahoo. You YouTube anything with JB Moonshine, you type it in. Don't get confused, because there is also a JB Moonshine in the band, Bandits or whatever, and that's not me wrestling.
Hey, they have great music. They have great music. I actually listen to a couple of songs today.
I'm not saying nothing. My theme, I like them. I like the Moonshine Bandits, but JB and the Moonshine, they're good, but that's not me. So you can look up anything I have on YouTube. I wrestle, like I said, I wrestle at North Portland Eagles Lodge, 611, North Exeter West, right there in Portland, Oregon. I wrestle there every Sunday. Doors open at 6 p.m. Catch me in Saw the first Saturday of every month. So for the Cat Belt, me in Hollywood. I'm doing Roseburg next week. So, I mean, anybody, the show, everything's good. Come see me.
Well, thank you so much for being on tonight. Best of luck, and tell next time you see Sign Guy, tell him I said hey.
I will let him know.